What's up, herbalists? This is Mason Hutchison, and you're listening to HerbRally. Our goal for the show is to help you along your herbalist journey, no matter what stage you're at. We have over 783 episodes, so feel free to peruse those episodes, and you're bound to find something of interest. Today's episode, I have the good fortune and honor to be hosting Elise Higley, my good friend. She's also the co-owner of Oshala Farm, OshalaFarm.com. They grow and sell over 80 medicinal plant species in beautiful southern Oregon. So check them out. And in today's episode, we talk a ton about their upcoming event. This July, it's Herb Camp. So this is summer camp for herbalists. You got to check it out. There's still tickets available. We'll get into all the details in the episode, but just want to do a quick little intro here. Learn more and register at OshalaFarm.com or click the link at the tippy top of today's podcast show notes. Also, before we get into the show, huge shout out and thank you to all of our HerbRally Schoolhouse members. Thank you so much for your support. If you'd like to learn more about the HerbRally Schoolhouse, simply go to HerbRally.com/schoolhouse and don't forget to use coupon code podcast at checkout to get your first 30 days for free. Then it's only $10 a month after that. So huge shout out. Thank you. All of our HerbRally Schoolhouse members really means a lot to us. That's going to do it for my rambling today. Hope you enjoyed today's episode with Elise Higley from Oshala Farm. Seriously, go to Herb Camp. It's going to be awesome. Talk to you soon. Bye.
Yeah. Smoking herbal blends. We need some mullein and some kush, my brethren. While listening to HerbRally Podcast again. Herbalism at its finest with Mason Hutchinson. Yeah.
Welcome back to the HerbRally Podcast, and I'm honored and excited to have on Elise Higley. Welcome to the show, Elise.
Thank you. Thanks so much for having me, Mason.
Of course. Well, let's talk a bunch about your upcoming event. It's called Herb Camp 2024. So can we start things off with like just the general details? Where's the event held and what are the dates?
Yeah. So Oshala Farm holds an annual herb camp every summer. It's the it's the first week in July. So it's right before Oregon Country Fair.
Oh.
And it's here on the farm, and it is July 5th through the 7th this year. So this is our fourth time holding camp on the farm. And yeah, it's kind of our impetus was just that so many people are excited to be with the plants and want to know how things are going on an herb farm. And this is a perfect chance to open up the space and get people to be out in the fields with the live plants, getting to see them, that not in cultivation, that in such a quantity that not most people get to see very often.
Perfect timing. I didn't even think about the fact that it's a week before the Oregon Country Fair. So if people were coming from out of town and they've heard of this infamous Oregon Country Fair, which I've been many a time, it's an amazing event, they could actually stack those two things together. Would you recommend folks do that?
Yeah, that's kind of how we planned it. So many people coming in wanted to do both. So yeah.
Awesome.
Maybe we can lure you back here, Mason.
There you go. Yeah, I need to make another Oregon visit. I'm not sure it's happening this summer, but definitely you'll be seeing my face next spring, so count on that. But at the very least,
Nice.
I know y'all will have a great time. I've been to Oshala Farm, as the listeners know, many a time. It's a gorgeous farm. But let's talk more about the event. Who are some of the people presenting this year?
Well, so it changes every year. And so we don't really repeat teachers every year because except for Jeff, he does get a privilege on that one. Only because we only let him teach one class, and it is a class about herb farming 101, which a lot of people are excited about. I mean, that's one of the reasons people love to come to the farm, is just to learn more about the process of growing and maybe how to do it, to start an herb farm themselves one day, or it's maybe to just see how things are done and really what goes into all the little details that go into, processing herbs and growing them before they get to you in a little bag on your doorstep, or a big bag. So yeah, it's a fun chance on that end to just learn more from Jeff, which he doesn't really do any other classes during the year. And then we also have Seja Pum is coming, which I'm super excited about this year, which will be amazing. And Seja.
Oh yeah, love Seja.
So yeah. And then Alexis Durham is another wonderful teacher. And I know her from working at Herb Farm, and now she is with American Herbal Products Association. But she's an herbalist at heart, and she is an amazing teacher. I really yeah, just value the way she teaches, really accessible, but a really smart cookie. And we have Laura Ash coming from Verse and Scarlet Sage Herbs from San Francisco area. And we kind of do a combo. We have people coming from that are local, like Alexis, and then Seja, of course, coming from Washington area, Pacific Northwest. And we've got a few other people coming from the Pacific Northwest as well. But Laura, just to like kind of, I don't know, have you heard her teach, Mason? Have you been part of her classes at all?
Yeah, I went to one of her classes. I want to say I was at the Portland Plant Medicine Gathering back in the day, or maybe it was the Traditional Roots Conferences.
Nice.
One of those Portland events, probably 8 years ago. But I've worked with Land of Verse quite a bit through HerbRally over the years. So yeah, definitely very familiar with her work. Yep.
Yeah, so she's doing she's teaching classes, and she's an amazing clinical herbalist, but she's also a stellar businesswoman, which I really appreciate about her. And I think sometimes in the herbal industry, especially, you know, product makers start to make products and they just need to know how to be sustainable in their own businesses. You know, we think, oh, we'll just give it away and I just do this for fun and I love it, but that's not really sustainable for some people. And so it's like, how do you, you know, craft a business where you actually can sustain yourself and, you know, make a living doing herbal business. So I'm excited for her to be able to share some of that with people that come. And we have actually a couple of business classes. We have a compliance class as well. That is going to be kind of, I don't know that like people are excited about that, but I think it's super,
It's
super important.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, Kristen, she's does compliance for Wish Garden, and I'm really happy to have her. She's coming from Colorado, and just learning and knowing about how to accept products, how to have the right paperwork as an herbal medicine maker and a business owner, or whoever you're working for, whatever company. So, and also from a herbalist point of view, I think is really, you know, really kind of what we're all about. It's like our herbs we hold that dearest to our heart, but at the same time, it's like, you know, you need to be able to follow the rules and be compliant with the FDA and all of that. So,
Absolutely.
yeah, excited to offer that as well. So, and then we have some other classes. Sorry, I just like lost my space in here of
That's all right.
so I'm like, woo, where are we? We're doing also a natural dye vat, which is super fun. When people arrive, they get to do, there's always some kind of like fun, folky herbal projects that we do. And so this year, we'll be doing some herbal dyes with a local woman named Sunny. And I'm excited to offer that, and just kind of a little token that a little party favor people can take home with them.
I know Sunny. Does she live in Ashland?
Yeah.
Yeah, she adopted our cat.
Oh, I love that.
We love Sunny. That's so cool. Yeah, she'll be a great addition to the herb conference.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. That's so funny. It's always such a small world, isn't it?
It is. Yep.
Yeah. So I'm going to get down to the list here on this. So just to let you know, too, for people are wanting to get all the detailed information that I'm botching out at the moment, you can go to oshalafarm.com, and in our event section, or if you just go to the shop section, it's Herb Camp 2024, and a list of the schedule, the bios for the teachers, prices, all of that will be in there. And there's a bunch of fun activities. We have an amazing band coming. But let me go back to the teachers, because I want to make sure to Eagle Song is coming, which Eagle Song Gardener, which I'm super grateful for, an elder in our community, and doing some classes on hawthorn, of course, her token plant.
That's right.
And Danae Grace Fuller is going to be coming from Ashland, Oregon area, and she's doing some more work on limpias and some kind of more traditional work on that end, which I'm grateful that she's coming as well. And then Natasha Clark, who you know and love, Natasha will be here doing whipping up some fun classes, and she's always a great person to have around. And Shayna Lipner Grover will be here. And you know Shayna, of course, from Columbine School of Botanicals and the past times with her. But that's going to be a great chance to get to have some of her classes. And she's actually teaches a longer course, and part of her botany course, they'll be camping earlier on the farm that week. So it'll be fun to have have, yeah, some of those people with us. So, and then Mel Casting, I'm super excited, is coming. So she is the clinic manager for Eclectic School of Herbal Medicine, for those of you that don't know Mel. And I'm excited to have her come because she's not really from our area. So that'll
Also,
be.
former Columbine's School of Botanical Studies alum.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, well, and Howie will be here too. So that'll be fun. I'm sure all
As
his
an
students.
attendee?
Yes.
Oh, very
Yeah. So
cool.
part of our benefits, our benefit package for teachers is that we invite them the next year to come just as a guest and
That's
just to,
awesome.
yeah. So it's kind of a little bonus that we give out just because, when you're teaching, it's a whole nother experience and it's amazing and wonderful, but it's also, you don't get to like sit back and relax or as much as you would if you were, not in the on spot. So,
Right, right.
yeah. Yeah. So I'm excited that he's coming. And another teacher that's coming that taught last year is Terry Talltree from Northern Women's Herbal Symposium,
Hmm.
Which is fun. It's really fun to have the teachers just come back and, receive and participate. I love that. So
Really adds to the vibe. And, when we co-organized the Brighton Bush Herbal Conference, a lot of the attendees there, I'm like, oh, they were former teachers. So yeah, they're able to just hang out with the collective and just shoot the shit with everybody. So yeah, I'm glad that you do that. That's such a great idea. Speaking of vibe, what would you say the general vibe of the camp is like? Are folks bringing their tents, and does it really feel like you're out there camping on the farm?
Yeah, definitely. That's why we try and have the camp word in there. Like you're camping. It's like summer camp.
I love
Like
that.
bring your camp stuff. We do have a couple of belt tents that we set up for people who, especially for people flying in. We tend to get people from all over the states, which has been really fun to see people coming from all over. We also have a few people who it's their new experience, but mostly we have pretty experienced herbalists that are here and have like either small companies or large companies. We have people coming that do on Friday for some of our people who do like annual farm audits. We'll do a farm audit for them earlier on Friday before the event or even on Thursday. And then they can kind of check that off their list. And then they get their companies to write off herb camp for them
There
for
you go.
they get to attend. So, so that's great. And we have some great music. It's like a women's bluegrass band, Rosalie's, that are going to be playing on Friday night. That kind of like sets the tone. And all the dinners are provided. It's beautiful, organic, Applegate grown as much as possible food. And we do like a product contest and we do a talent show and it's fun. It's a really good fun. You're getting me excited talking about it, like remembering. I'm like, oh, that's right. It's going to be a good time for sure.
Well, you mentioned the food. I was curious about that. Does the ticket include the meals as well?
Yeah, so we include all the meals, and that way people don't have to worry about packing and cooking their own things and worrying obviously about having campfires and things on the farm during July in Southern Oregon.
Okay.
So the meals are provided by an amazing local chef, Chef Kristen. And you bring just like kind of camp style, you bring your plate, you bring your utensils, your cup, and then there's a wash station at the end. So you're responsible for washing your own dish. And then we have like a little mesh bags that we give everyone to hang up their plates and everything along for the weekend. So
awesome. Well,
try and be no waste as possible,
I love that. Yeah. Would expect nothing less from you, Elise. So you mentioned in the event page description, which by the way, dear listener, you'd go to oshalafarm.com. I'll leave links in the podcast show notes and the YouTube description, of course. But you mentioned in the description of the event that folks are going to have chances to have hands-on experience with the plants on the farm. I'm just kind of curious, how does that look? Excuse me, are classes going to be held out in the farm, and how does the hands-on activity look?
Yeah, so all the class sites are on different parts of the farm. So we do like to kind of, when you say kind of like what kind of vibe, we kind of like to create a little hub for the weekend. It's like we try and encourage people not to come and go. There are people who stay off site, but we try and really like welcome everyone in. We have a welcome circle on Friday and just get people to kind of as much as possible, like check out, turn their cell phones off if possible and just really absorb the weekend. And be here. I mean, Brighton Bush was easy because there was no cell service. So
Right,
it's hard,
exactly.
harder when you actually have an option.
Right.
So so that starts, and then people get introduced to the teachers and they get to go to whatever classes they want to, and they can change up. There's no signing up or missing out. Like there's not really any classes that there's not enough room in any of the classes. It's just, you might not, trying to think of any of them. There's some of them where you could come home with like some of the activity, but like the medicine making classes where you're out in the field with the plants is like, you might be learning about fresh tincture making and really, or formulating, and we'll go out and harvest the plants out in the field. And so the teachers have been walked around with somebody on the farm ahead of time and know what plants they can harvest and how to be respectful out on the field to be with the plants. So, and I just feel like that is part of why we do all of this, and all the work that goes into it is just that we really want people to get a chance to, like, sit with that blue vervain plant and really get to see it and see, probably thousands of them, what it's like. And just kind of, it's hard not to pick up on a feeling when you get that many plants and same all together. So yeah, it's beautiful.
So it'll be July. What kind of plants do you expect to be popping up at that time?
Gosh, I mean, we don't do root harvest until the fall. So we're not really harvesting roots during the workshop. Although last year, Glenn Nagel always comes, and Glenn, he's up for fun. I don't have him on the teacher lineup. He always, because he taught last year, but he comes and, he's got his trailer and all his goods. And, last year we made some amazing concoctions and roasting chicory and dandelion root and making some root beer and some fun stuff. But for the most part, you're going to be looking at aerial tops that are blooming or just getting ready to bloom. Yeah, I think we almost have everything going. Some will just be at an earlier stage in July than they would be, in the fall. But we grow over 80 medicinal herbs. So you'll be seeing a lot out there for sure. Everything will have been planted, which is great. Some will be smaller plants than others, but you'll get to see everything out there. So
yeah, and just to underscore what you said, when you're around that many plants all blooming at the same time, that you can't help but feel that energy. So it's going to be an awesome experience. And yeah, Glenn Nagel in the back singing somewhere or something like that. It's going to be a super fun experience.
Exactly.
I don't suppose there's going to be some sort of like farm tour, or are they just maybe impromptu farm tours that just happen throughout the weekend?
We do start on Friday. We do a farm tour. That's like the first thing we do, just because we want people to be like grounded, and then inevitably, if we don't do the farm tour first, people are asking a million questions, because it's some of their first times here. And so it's good just to do that at the beginning. There's a farm tour with everyone. Jeff and I usually split up the group, and then and sometimes even more groups than that. There's usually about 100 or so folks, so it is limited. Sometimes 125 or so with teachers. So we do encourage people to, sign up early. We always sell out. That is, and we have to give notice and everything to the chef on what meals we do. So, we encourage people to sign up as soon as possible. And, we have a lot of repeat people too, which is fun because it's like people's, tradition. And we have some schools that come as a little like graduation thing. They'll come and meet each other. And last year it was so sweet because there was these classes that were only online. They'd only met for like 2 years on Zoom, and then they all met each other in person. So it was really great to see that.
That's so fun. I want to say Mountain Mel Mutterspa goes to the event, doesn't she?
She does. Yeah. I hope she can come this year. It always falls on her daughter's birthday time. So, it's hard one.
Another fun herbalist to have around. So I'm going to ask you a doozy. This might be the most difficult question of the episode, but what are you looking forward to the most about the event?
I think what I look forward to most is just being able to hang out with people on the farm. And even though it's a lot of work, I really get to enjoy the farm that weekend, and I see so many people enjoying it, and it's like, okay, this is what we do it all for, it makes me feel good.
Absolutely. So, well, very good. Yeah. One more time, that's oshalafarm.com. And let's get the dates here one more time. That's July 5th to the 7th, 2024. I keep saying Williams, Oregon, but really it's Grants Pass technically, isn't it?
We're really Provolt, but Provolt's not on the map, but we should have fought for that with Oshala. So make Provolt t-shirts or something. So yeah.
Very good. Well, dear listener, as Elise was saying, the tickets are limited. They always sell out. So if this is of interest to you, definitely register ASAP. So awesome. Any closing thoughts before we wrap up and get out of here, Elise? Anything else you want to
Well,
highlight?
two things, if that's okay.
Please.
Yeah, I just want to say one is we do offer work trade. It's pretty filled at the moment, but we always offer work trade. So if finances are stopping you from coming, I always encourage people, like, we really don't like to turn people away due to finances. But at the same time, I pay everybody for everything that they do, the teachers, for the food, really high quality. So, but there's always a way we can make it work. So there's that. And then yeah, I really just invite you and encourage you to take a few days off of your life. And I know everyone's busy, but to come and hang out with us on the farm and make herbal medicine and meet other herbalists and just, yeah, enjoy the space and be with the plants. So I hope to see you here someday, whether it's this year or in the future.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on the HerbRally podcast. Let's talk soon, all right?
Yeah, sounds good. Take care, everyone. Bye.
Bye. Hey everyone, this is Mason with HerbRally. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and also go ahead and subscribe. We come out with new herbal content each and every week. If you didn't know, HerbRally also lists herbalism events. We list herbalism events chronologically. We list them also by state. So you could just go ahead and search by Oregon or Wisconsin or wherever you live. You can find out what herbalism events are happening in your neck of the woods. We also list herbalism events, virtual herbal events. So if you can't make it to an in-person conference or plant walk, we list lots of virtual events as well. To find out more, you could go to herbrally.com/events or herbrally.com/virtual. But if you can help it, I would highly recommend trying to go to an herbalism conference. Those are some of the best learning experiences I've ever had, and that's where you can find different herbal teachers, and then maybe you could perhaps take their apprenticeship. But yeah, just do what you can. Get out there and learn about the herbs, like yarrow, dandelion, corn, all the above, like all the medicinal herbs. And we'll see you out there. Hope to see you at an herb conference. All right, bye.